Welcome, brothers and sisters. Today we have two pages of Christ that are very sadly but very important too. And at first we have a message, and then I'm going to tell you the history, right? So first, Jesus tells how when when the Messiah comes, uh, after long time to earth with his angels, he will sit in a throne. There he will uh, everybody will gather towards him, and he will put some people on his right and other people on his left, on like just like a pastor. He basically says that the, the certain animals that pastors used to walk. Let me see right quick. I don't want to say wrong. Okay, so on the right will be the sheep, and the left will be the uh, childs of a sheep, right? And this is an important message that I will and explain after this story. So, basically, on the right, Jesus will tell them, you are going to heaven because you fed me when I was hungry. You give me clothes when I didn't have clothes. You give me a place to live when I didn't have a place to live. You always helped me when I needed to be helped. And these people will say, uh, King, because Jesus is a king. And this is another message I'll tell about after. He said, King, when did we give you food when you needed food? When we give you clothes when you needed clothes? When we give you a place to stay when you needed a place to stay? And Jesus will say, every time you took care one of my kids, you take care of me. One of his kids is people, another people who is in need. So the poor, kids, someone who's in need. And because of that, you are going to heaven. Then he will go to the other, which they call him the not already ships who are still growing, and said, you're going to hell, burning hell, because when I needed to eat you didn't feed me, when I needed clothes you didn't give me no clothes, when I needed a place to stay you didn't give me no place to stay, and when I was in prison you didn't visit me, when I was sick you didn't visit me, and because of that you're going to hell. And they said, uh king, when were you hungry and you didn't we didn't fed you? When were you without clothes and you didn't give you clothes? When were you in need of a place to live and we didn't give you a place to stay? When were you in prison when we didn't visit you? When were you in, sick and we didn't help you and visit you? And he said, every time one of my kids were, you didn't. And these kids again is people. Because of that, you are going to hell on eternal pain and suffering, eternal torture, while the right side are going to heaven because they did give clothes, food, as a place to stay. They visit when they were in prison, and they visit and take care when they were sick. So these are two divisions, right? And Jesus are very clear that when he comes in the end of days, and after our death, some will go to heaven for being good people and helping out everybody who's in need, and some who didn't help out and was selfish and was not helpful toward others are going to hell because they didn't help the people in need. And now, why did Jesus said, in this is my point of view, why did Jesus said that one was the grown animals and the other was the child animals still? Because it's very known, and Jesus talks about people who have devilish ways. They are very narcissistic. They are bad people. They just care about them. They only goes to like quick pleasures, pleasures of the flesh, drugs, and act on a bad manner, they are the kids of the devil, and that's how Jesus say. And the grown men, a grown woman, are the people who are not addicted to anything. They don't go to uh, um, pleasure of the flesh or quick pleasures. They don't commit adultery. They obey God. They fear God. So there's a very clear distinction, because a grown person and these kids, it doesn't have to do with age itself. It has to do with personal improvements. And I can say that since I've been on my journey of self improvement, getting closer to God, doing simmer attention, working out, uh, eliminating my previous addictions, I've grown to a man, and I even show people how I used to be way more like a kid, like 7, 8 months ago, and how now I'm very grown man, and really shows the difference. And I think this is a direct association with when you are a more moral and close to God, close to Jesus Christ and His Word, and you obey Him, doing things He wants you to do. You grown spiritually and as a person. Now, the second message, uh, I was, I don't think I missed something or not. Yeah, basically, this the life, the left will go to hell and eternal pain and suffering by the devil and his angels, and the right will go to heaven in peace and love by God and Jesus Christ. And now we're going to go to the second lesson. I just forgot to say, when the kids, when they were thirsty, they give him water, and the others didn't give water. Just for you to know, like, you should help always people in need. And me myself, I there's people who needed to stay in my home now, and I was kind of I didn't love the idea because I don't know these people, but reading this now, I know that I should, and I have to remember always. We all need this reminder to be good people and help others, because that will help us to go to heaven after that, or in the end of time if you're still alive at that time. The second story is the story that Jesus says to us, that He says to the apostles that he will die in 2 days, after the let me search here the name, the Easter time, right? So he says that someone is going to betray him. We know it was Judas. He asked people the apostles to go to the city and say to the man that he will spend there the time of Easter with the 12 apostles and eat with them. And he then says that one of them will betray him. Judas, previous to this, goes talk with the preachers and the Pharisees that, wait a minute, yeah, with the preachers and the, can I can't find it, but basically the Jewish uh, people who were in command of the church, and they were very mean and deceiving. That Jesus talks better, that I talk about it a lot on my previous biblical preaches, right? And these preachers and these people who are high in commands of the church back then, they intend to arrest Jesus and kill him. So they go and talk with Judas, who went to them and have negotiated 30 coins of I'm really silver, 30 coins of silver. So when he comes back, Jesus said that one of you will betray me, and this is supposed to happen, but that person, it should never, it would be better if he never was born, right? And everybody starts asking, is it me? Jesus, is it me? Messiah, is it me? And Jesus responds that the person who will betray him will put the hands on his, put the hand with his hands on the plates. And what he's mean is, I think that is mean is like it's very close to him. And then Jesus asked, "Is it me, Master?" And Jesus said, "It's how you is what you just said." So Jesus even says that he will be Judas. Of course, Jesus already know, but just to bring your awareness that this is this part of the story, and you must know that we know that Judas end up bleeding himself, but this is very dark. And again, goes just about the video that I did previous. How can you see someone do miracles and showing that he truly is the Messiah and you betray him? Is some people are just is insane, right? Um, but it is what it is. We just see a reality of certain humans, and this was destined to happen. Big how Jesus tell us. Another story that this happened was when Jesus was feeding a woman, came with a big jar of a perfume and put on Jesus' head, on Jesus' hairs, right? And the apostles got mad and they were like, "Why do you spend all this? You could sell it and give it to the poor." But Jesus said, "No, she was doing the right thing. She was doing a good deed, and she was putting perfume for my sepulture, sepulture, for my grave, and because he's gonna die like very soon." And I don't like we don't know what was the reason, but we know that she was doing a good deed. She wanna show like appreciation to Jesus and do a good thing for him. And he says that she will be reminders on this story forever. That's why we know this part. And the lesson here is if you are doing a good deed, that's a good deed. If you have a good heart, you are doing something good. That's a good deed. It's not, don't mind if someone say, "Oh, you should do this and this instead," because the reality is you're doing something good and you know it. And some people will say uh, something maybe to hurt you or to put you down or to make what you did less. But these are the same people who don't do anything, and some a lot of times are very selfish and don't care, only care about themselves. So know that Jesus appreciate any good deeds regardless of the being the best option or not. And he showed to this woman how she did a great thing. And you the poor will always leave. He says this, the poor was always leave, but he will he will only be alive in the flesh uh once. And he was close to his grave. Yeah, no, he didn't say it once, but he said it will only be with them uh, in a short term because he was about to in the earth. He said, "I will not ever be with. I will not be forever be with you." So that was the message today. And yes, focus on doing good. and don't always mind of what's the best thing, but do what you want to do that is good and is a good heart. And now today you guys learn how another ways to go to heaven, who will be chosen, the ones who help other people who are in need, or those who want to help those who are selfish and only care about themselves, not help others. That's it. See you.